The Antique Code. A Human Upgrade Manual, based on a 1897 book, Part 1. Introduction. You are not a biorobot. How a lady in a crinoline in 1897 described your inner architecture better than modern psychologists. Hi. Right now, you're reading this from a screen. You feel your body, maybe your back is stiff, your hand is tired. You hear ambient noise. You think, what's he talking about? Now stop. Who is feeling, hearing, and thinking all this? Not your body. Not your brain. Not the name in your passport. In 1897, long before iPhones, neural networks, or even household electricity, a woman named Annie Besant wrote a book called The Ancient Wisdom. In it, she declared, "A human being is not a body. It is a multi-layered system of 7 levels of reality." Her contemporaries thought she was mad. Today, quantum physics, psychology, and neuroscience are gradually converging on the same conclusions. She was simply 130 years ahead of her time. And here's the funniest part. You're already using all these layers, you just don't know their names or how to control them. It's like being handed a Ferrari but driving your whole life in first gear. In this series, we'll do 2 things. 1. Dissect the 1897 blueprint down to the smallest detail. 2. Learn how to operate it effectively in 2024. Ready to look under the hood of your own reality? Let's go. Part 2. Layer 1, the physical body, hardware, analogy. Your smartphone, but one you can't replace with a newer model. What it is. This is what you see in the mirror. Flesh, bones, blood, organs. Your biological spacesuit for navigating this reality. In 1897, they called it the dense body. Today, we'd say hardware. How it works. Your physical body is an interface. Through it, you interact with the world. Eat, move, feel pain, experience pleasure. But here's the key. It doesn't control you. You control it, you just often forget that. Real-life example. You wake up thinking, ugh, everything hurts, I don't want to go to work. You assume your body is dictating your mood. In truth, it's a communication breakdown between layers, more on that soon. Humor. Imagine your body is a Xiaomi smartphone. Cheap but functional glitches occasionally needs regular charging, sleep, slows down if you don't clear the cache, detox, but you can run any app, your goals, on it, if you know how. How to upgrade, practice. 1. Maintenance. Charging. 78 hours of sleep isn't for weaklings, it's like a system reboot. Updates. Water and food aren't just fuel, they're firmware updates for your bioprocessors. Defragmentation. Movement. Not exercise for muscles, but movement for energy circulation. 2. Diagnostics, checklist. Do you wake up refreshed or drained? Does food give you energy or heaviness? Is your breathing shallow, chest, or deep, belly? 3. Core principle. You are not your body. You are its user. When your back hurts, it's not I'm sick, it's my tool has a glitch I need to fix it. Limitations of this layer. Aging and death. Yes, hardware has an expiration date. Bound by physical laws. Won't let you fly like Superman. Requires constant care. Ignore it, and you get the blue screen of death. What happens if you neglect this layer? You'll be like a gamer trying to run Cyberpunk 2077 on integrated graphics, lagging, crashing, low FPS in life. Homework, yes, there will be. 1. Tomorrow morning, before getting out of bed, ask yourself. How does my body feel today? Don't judge, just note. Warm/cold, light/heavy, any discomfort. 2. Throughout the day, catch yourself saying, "I'm tired, it hurts, I can't." Rephrase it. "My body is signaling fatigue, there's pain in my body isn't ready right now." Sounds weird? But it shifts perception. You're not your boat's slave, you're its pilot. Let's go, bro. I'm writing non-stop. Hey Race Part 2, about energy, but without the esoteric fluff. Part 3. Layer 2, the etheric body, energy network, analogy. The battery and Wi-Fi of your biological smartphone. What it is. Imagine your smartphone, physical body. By itself, it's just plastic and metal. To function, it needs 1. A battery, charge, 2. Wi-Fi/mobile network, connection to the outside world. Your etheric body is exactly that. Your built-in battery plus antenna. In 1897, it was called the etheric double. Today, we might call it your bioenergetic field or personal energy grid. How it works. Every movement, thought, and emotion drains energy from this battery. Sleep, food, and time in nature recharge it. But hey, race the catch. The battery isn't infinite, and it's connected to other people and places via Wi-Fi. Real-life example. You walk into the office and feel exhausted within an hour, even though you've done nothing. You talk to certain people and feel drained, like a squeezed lemon. It's not paranoia. It's your etheric body. Draining in heavy environments, losing data packets around energy vampires. Yes, they exist, not literally, but energetically, glitching when energy channels are clogged. Humor. Your etheric body is wireless charging for your soul. Sometimes runs on a power bank, coffee, often connects to random networks, other people's emotions. When dead, you're just a dumb vegetable on the couch. How to upgrade, practice. 1. Battery diagnostics. Do you wake up already tired? Battery isn't recharging overnight. Feel drained after talking to someone? They're hacking your network. High energy in some places, zero in others. Different etheric ecology. 2. Recharging methods. Ground outlet. 20 minutes barefoot on grass/earth equals plus 30% charge. Science calls this earthing. Solar panel. 10 minutes in sunlight, no sunscreen, equals system refresh. Breathing power bank. 4-7-8 technique, inhale 4 seconds, hold 7, exhale 8, equals emergency boost. 3. Network protection, prevent energy theft. Cocoon visualization. Imagine a transparent energy shield around you. Sounds silly? Works. Stop word rule. Internally say stop when you feel energy being sucked away. Physical shield. Crossed arms/legs during tough conversations, not just posture, but circuit closure. Coffee isn't charging, it's a loan. Drink coffee, get quick energy credit, repay with interest 2 hours later, crash. Coffee doesn't charge the battery, it forces it to give its last reserves. What happens if you ignore this layer? You'll live like a phone, constantly on a power bank, always seeking external stimulants, coffee, sugar, drama, stress, just to stay online. You'll operate at 5% battery, power-saving mode, no energy for goals, relationships, or life. Homework. 1. Track your energy during the day. When do you feel energized? What were you doing? Where? With whom? When do you crash suddenly? What happened? Keep an energy journal for 3 days. 2. Run an experiment. 1 day without caffeine or sugar. Instead, 3x 5 minutes of deep breathing plus 20-minute walk. Compare evening feelings to a normal day. Part 4. Layer 3, the astral body, emotional processor, analogy. An operating system with antivirus software, constantly catching emotion viruses. What it is. If the physical body is hardware and the etheric body is the battery, then the astral body is the OS managing emotions. In 1897, it was called the body of desires. Today, we'd say emotional intelligence plus subconscious programming. Every emotion is a program triggered by external events. Joy, fear, anger, jealousy, inspiration, all are software you either installed yourself or had forced upon you. How it works. Imagine your brain is a computer. The astral body is Windows/Mac OS that 1. Launches programs, emotional reactions. 2. Catches viruses, toxic emotions imposed from outside. 3. Crashes if you don't clear the cache, unprocessed emotions. Real-life example. Your boss yells, you get angry, program injustice launches. Your partner doesn't reply, you panic, program abandonment launches. You think, this is just how I react. In reality, your OS is auto-running saved scripts. Humor. Your astral body is Windows 95 full of viruses. Randomly launches weird programs, panic for no reason, freezes on emotional tasks, blue screens under stress, but you can reinstall a clean system. How to upgrade, practice. 1. Virus detection, unprocessed emotions. Pause frame technique. When overwhelmed, stop and ask. Which program just launched? Fear of rejection. Anger at helplessness. Sadness of loneliness. Name the enemy. Don't say I feel bad, say I feel anxiety. Naming gives you access to settings. 2. Reinstalling programs. Emotional update. Consciously replace reactions. Old. Criticism hurt. New. Criticism curiosity, why did they say that? Task manager. Close frozen emotions. Technique. I notice my anger. I allow it to be. I release it. 3. Antivirus protection. Emotional hygiene. Avoid toxic content before bed. Cache cleaning. Talk through feelings, to paper, a friend, voice recorder. Backup. Save states of joy/calm by recalling bodily sensations. Emotions aren't enemies, they're signals. Anger equals boundaries violated, fear equals danger, real or imagined, sadness equals something important lost, joy equals moving in the right direction. What happens if you ignore this layer? You become like a computer hijacked by ransomware. Emotions aren't yours, imposed by society, family, trauma, auto-launching destructive programs, self-criticism, panic, aggression, emotional lag. You cry when you should rejoice, rage when you should grieve. You stop being the author of your reactions. You become hostage to software installed by others. Homework. 1. Catch 3 emotional reactions during the day. Record. Situation emotion program, which belief triggered it? Example. Situation. Colleague interrupted me. Emotion. Anger. Program. Am not respected. 2. Run an emotional update. Pick one frequent negative reaction. Design a new program. Mentally rehearse the new response 10 times. Preview of next part. Layer 4. The mental body, central processor, how to silence your inner chatterbox and start thinking instead of chewing mental gum. Let's go. The next layers go even deeper and more powerful. Part 5. Layer 4, the mental body, central processor, analogy. CPU and RAM, the place where thoughts are born, not emotions. What it is. If the astral body is the emotional OS, the mental body is the processor running it. This is your conscious thinking, logic, analysis, and inner dialogue. In 1897, they called it the body of thought. Today, cognitive sphere, rational mind. Key distinction. Emotions, astral layer, equals I'm scared. Thoughts, mental layer, equals why am I scared? What can I do? How it works. The mental body constantly generates thoughts, analyzes, plans, solves problems. It's your inner strategist. But it has a critical bug. It confuses thoughts with reality. Thought. A failure perceived as fact affects emotions, drains energy, shapes actions. Real-life example. You get rejected from a job. Astral layer. Hurt, disappointment. Mental layer. Launches a thought spiral. Worthless. The market's collapsing. I'll never find work. What will my family say? Thoughts seem logical, but they're automatic cognitive distortions. Humor. Your mental body is like a chatbot in your head that never stops talking, inner monologue, hallucinates often, invents problems that don't exist, gets stuck on one scenario but with the right prompt, delivers genius solutions. How to upgrade, practice. 1. Detecting the thought blender. Silent observer technique. Sit quietly for 5 minutes and just watch thoughts like clouds. Don't engage. Goal. Realize you're not your thoughts. Destroyer question. When a negative thought arises, ask. Is this 100% true? What if I stopped believing it? 2. Programming the processor. Mental diet. What does your mind consume? News, gossip, toxic content. Replace with books, podcasts, educational material. Install useful scripts. Instead of I can't do it. Install I'm trying, exploring paths, learning. Limit multitasking. The brain can't think deeply about 10 things at once. One task, full attention. 3. Solving the main problem, mental chewing gum. Paper brain technique. Write down looping thoughts. Physically unload them from RAM. Time boxing. Allocate 15 minutes daily for worry thinking. Rest of the day, catch and postpone. I'll think about this during worry time. Thought is a tool, not a commander. You can choose which thought to focus on. Not bad thoughts are attacking me, but I'm currently focusing on an unhelpful thought, I can switch. What happens if you ignore this layer? You become hostage to autopilot thoughts. Your inner dialogue turns into a toxic roommate constantly criticizing, doubting, frightening you. Creativity, clarity, and decision-making vanish. Life runs on preloaded templates you don't even recognize. Homework. 1. Conduct a thought audit. At 5 random moments during the day, pause and write the first thought in your head. Analyze in the evening. How many were constructive versus noise/anxiety? 2. Practice counter-prompting. Identify your most frequent negative thought pattern, e.g., everything's too hard. Create a counter-prompt, what's one small step I can take right now to make it easier? Repeat the counter-prompt every time you catch the old thought. Part 6. Layer 5, the causal body, soul database, analogy. Cloud storage with all your past game saves, lives, patterns, talents, and karmic debts. What it is. The most esoteric layer, but well skip the mysticism. The causal body is your deep archive. It stores core beliefs, the world is dangerous, innate talents, why math comes easy to some, not others, repetitive scenarios, why you keep stepping on the same rake, karmic patterns, in secular terms. Unconscious programs inherited from family, Culture, Lineage. In 1897, they spoke of the causal body and reincarnation. Today, psychology calls it transgenerational trauma, collective unconscious, and deep-seated beliefs. How it works. Imagine you're playing an RPG. The causal body is your character, with starting stats, talents, backstory, beliefs, quests, life missions you feel but can't articulate, bugs, traumas, blocks. You don't start from scratch. You load a pre-built character with history. Real-life example. You sabotage success repeatedly. Just as you reach a goal, everything collapses. You think. Bad luck. Reality. Your causal body holds success is dangerous, e.g., because successful ancestors were persecuted. You inexplicably fear certain things, heights, water, public speaking. It might not be your personal fear, but ancestral memory. Humor. Your causal body is your grandfather's old computer you inherited. Full of old files, past generation beliefs, viruses, family traumas, but also useful programs, talents, ancestral wisdom, and you're trying to run a modern game, your life, on it. How to upgrade, practice. 1. Identify deep programs. Why? Technique. Dig to the root belief. I don't trust people. Why? I've been betrayed. Why did it hurt so much? Because I believe I'm unworthy of love. Bingo. Root program. Analyze repeating scenarios. Notice the same problem recurring in different contexts. That's a program signal. 2. Rewrite patterns. New legend technique. Create an alternative story for your core belief. Old. Everyone in our family is poor. New. Our family survived against all odds, now it's time to thrive. Body work. Deep programs live as muscle tension. Yoga, massage, somatic therapy, erase body memory. 3. Access useful files, talents. Remember childhood. What came easily before adults said that's not serious. Ancestral sync. Study your family history. What strengths did ancestors have? Resilience, craft, trade, healing, integration. How can you apply those strengths today? Karma isn't punishment, it's an unfinished lesson. See karma not as fate, but as an unlearned lesson that repeats until mastered, and it becomes practical. What happens if you ignore this layer? You'll keep banging your head against the wall, not understanding why the same problems haunt you, your parents, and maybe your kids. You'll reject parts of yourself, talents that seem wrong. You'll live someone else's life, a script written in your family's unconscious. Homework. 1. Create a family program map. List 3 limiting beliefs common in your family. Money is evil, don't stand out. For each, write an opposite, empowering belief. 2. Dialogue with an ancestor technique. Mentally address an ancestor you feel connected to, even if unknown. Ask. What's the greatest strength you pass to me? Record the first image/word/sensation that arises. Let's dive deeper. The next layers unlock superpowers you already have, but forgot. Part 7. Layer 6, the Buddhic body, direct knowing, analogy. Satellite internet that delivers answers without Google searches. What it is. If the mental body is the processor doing logical thinking, the Buddhic body is direct knowing without reasoning. Intuition, insights, aha. Moments, the inner voice that guides when logic fails. In 1897. Body of intuition or spiritual mind. Today. Neuroscience calls it unconscious information processing, right brain cognition, or access to the collective unconscious. It's not magic. It's your brain accessing information not through linear logic, but through holistic perception. How it works. Imagine your brain has two internet connections. 1. Standard, mental layer. You search, analyze, conclude. 2. Satellite, Buddhic layer. The answer arrives instantly, fully formed. You just know. That aha moment when a complex solution hits you in the shower, on a walk, or in sleep. Real-life example. Choosing between two jobs. Logically, you've weighed pros/cons, one pays more, the other offers growth. Your mind is stuck. You go for a walk, and suddenly feel clear. This one is mine. No explanation. You meet someone and instantly sense. Trustworthy, though they've done nothing, danger, though they're smiling, it's not paranoia. Your Buddhic layer processed thousands of nonverbal cues and delivered the verdict. Humor. Your Buddhic body is an internal chat for that. Doesn't show its reasoning, sometimes hallucinates, false intuition, needs precise prompts, what's the most harmonious choice? Not what should I do, works best when mental noise quiets down. How to upgrade, practice. 1. Prerequisite. Mental silence, thought faucet technique. When caught in endless inner dialogue, mentally say stop and focus on breath/body for 12 minutes. Noise fades, intuition awakens. Daily meditation. Not hours, just 10 minutes observing thoughts without engagement. Trains your direct knowing muscle. 2. Ask better questions. Bad, for logic. How do I get rich? Good, for intuition. What's the next action that brings flow and abundance? Phrase questions openly, positively, in present tense. 3. Recognize Buddhic signals. Physical. Goosebumps, chest warmth, butterflies, not from fear, lightness/expansion. Emotional. Sudden calm, certainty, clarity, versus anxious mental chatter. Imagery/words. Flash images, song lyrics, single words. 4. Morning pages technique, Julia Cameron. Right after waking, write 3 pages of unfiltered stream of consciousness. Bypasses the mental censor, lets the Buddhic layer speak. Often reveals sharpest insights. Intuition is neurological. Your brain processes millions of bits per second. Consciousness, mental layer, registers only 4,050 bits. Intuition, Buddhic layer, accesses that vast unconscious database. You're not guessing, you're reading what you already know but don't consciously register. What happens if you ignore this layer? You'll live by logic alone in a world that's 90% illogical. Miss opportunities that don't fit your mental models. Dismiss intuitive people as weird or mystics. Your decisions will be correct, but not wise. Homework. 1. Blind choice experiment. When facing a simple decision, what to eat, where to go, do this. Pause 10 seconds. Ask your body. What would my body choose? Notice first impulse, not thoughts. Follow it. Analyze results. 2. Keep an intuition journal. Record moments of clear premonitions, did they come true, sudden out of nowhere ideas, physical sensations before big events. After a month, spot your personal signal patterns. Part 8. Layer 7, the Atmic Body, Pure Consciousness, Analogy. The user sitting at the computer, watching the screen. Not hardware, software, or internet, but the one who uses it all. What it is. The highest layer. The source. If all previous layers are tools, body, emotions, thoughts, intuition, the Atmic Body is you, the one using them. In 1897. Spirit, higher self, spark of God. In modern non-messianic terms. Pure awareness, the observer, fundamental consciousness. It's not something. It's who. How it works. Try this experiment. 1. Feel your hand, physical layer. 2. Notice if you like/dislike the sensation, astral layer. 3. Think. Why do I feel this way? Mental layer. 4. Now step back in awareness and observe the one who feels, senses, and thinks. That observer is the atmic body. It doesn't change. It isn't born or die. It isn't your thoughts, feelings, or body. It's the space in which all other layers unfold. Real-life example. You're in deep depression. Thoughts. Nothing matters. Emotions. Despair. Body. Heaviness. In the darkest moment, you suddenly notice. Ah, there's a thought about meaninglessness. There's a feeling of despair. The one who noticed is not depressed. They're simply observing depression. This doesn't erase depression, but changes your relationship to it. You say, depression is in me, not I am depression. Humor. Your atmic body is the gamer who launched an RPG called My Life, got so immersed, forgot they're the player, not the character, gets mad at NPCs, fears monsters, celebrates leveling up, then suddenly remembers and laughs. Oh God, it's just a game. How to upgrade, practice. 1. Constant reminder. Who am I? Randomly during the day, ask. Who is aware of this right now? Don't seek a mental answer. Just shift focus from content, thoughts/feelings, to awareness itself. I am technique. In silence, drop all labels, am a man, father, programmer, tired. Rest in pure I am. That's contact with the atmic layer. 2. Observation without identification. When strong emotions/thoughts arise, practice. There is anger. I am the one observing this anger. Not suppression. A shift in position. You're the sky, emotions/thoughts are clouds. 3. Awareness in action. During simple acts, washing dishes, walking, stay aware of yourself performing the act. Not I'm washing dishes, but there is awareness of dishwashing. Breaks autopilot, connects you to the user. Death isn't the end of the user, it's finishing a gaming session. From this view, physical death isn't tragedy, it's logging out of the game. The player, atmic body, remains. They may start a new game, reincarnation, or rest. This isn't religious dogma, it's a logical model explaining why kids sometimes recall past lives, why we have unexplained talents/fears, why the sense of I doesn't depend on body age. What happens if you ignore this layer? You fully identify with roles, I'm a father, businessman, failure, body, I'm old/young, beautiful/ugly, thoughts/emotions, I am my depression, pride, mind, you believe existence ends with the body. This breeds existential dread, greed for life, fear of loss. You live as a character who thinks they're the whole world, and panics when the game ends. Homework. 1. Observer for a day practice. Pick one day. Hourly, pause and ask. Who is experiencing this right now? Notice the difference between I as personality, name, story, roles, and I as pure presence. 2. Keep a not I journal. Each evening, write what you identified with that day. Today I identified as the offended employee, as the thought of failure, as the tired body. Next to each, write. But I am not this. I am what noticed it. Final part. How it all works together. Now you have the complete 7-layer map. These aren't 7 separate bodies, they're one integrated system where each layer affects all others. How to apply this model? 1. Problem diagnosis. Chronic fatigue. Check layers 1, 2, 4, body, energy, parasitic thoughts. Repeating relationship failures. Check layers 3, 5, emotional programs, ancestral scripts. No life clarity. Check layers 6, 7, blocked intuition, no contact with the user. 2. Holistic upgrade. Can't just train the mind while ignoring the body. A tired body equals a dull mind. Can't pursue spirituality, layer 67, while bypassing emotions, layer 3. That's spiritual bypassing, avoiding real issues. Ideal. Balanced development of all layers. 3. Daily minimal practice. Morning. 5 minutes connecting to atmic layer, who am I? Daytime. Manage mental noise plus recharge etheric body, breathing, movement. Evening. Emotional hygiene, process feelings, don't suppress, plus gratitude, feed causal layer positive programs. This model isn't dogma, it's a tool. Use it to understand yourself deeper than standard psychology allows. Solve problems at their root, not just symptoms. Realize your true nature, not as a biorobot, but as an eternal player in the infinite game called reality. Final word. The ancient wisdom of 1897 hasn't aged. It was simply waiting for us to develop the language to understand it. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're a multi-layered reality capable of self-awareness and self-mastery. The game has just begun. And you've just received the map to all levels.